Last episode ended with a triumph and a catch.
Fourier series can build any periodic signal from spinning circles.
But look at this, a single pulse. It happens once. It never repeats.
It has no period.
A camera flash. A hand clap. A lightning strike.
Your voice saying a word exactly once. Most of the real world never repeats, and our beautiful machine can't touch it. This episode fixes that, with one audacious trick. If the signal has no period, give it 1.
And then make it infinite.
The trick, step 1, take the lonely pulse and clone it into a periodic train, period t. Now at is periodic, and last episode applies, it has a line spectrum, 1 line per harmonic, spaced omega naught, which is 2 pi over t, apart. Notice the lines aren't random heights, they sit under a smooth envelope, drawn in coral.
Hold that envelope with your eyes. It belongs to the pulse. The line spacing belongs to the period. 2 separate owners.
Step 2, push the clones apart. Double the period, the neighbors retreat, and in frequency, the lines move closer together.
The envelope doesn't move a hair. Keep stretching.
The clones vanish over the horizon, the signal is becoming our single pulse again. And the lines crowd tighter and tighter, filling in the envelope like pixels, becoming a photograph.
In the limit, the period is infinite, a signal that happens once.
The lines have merged into the envelope itself, a spectrum at every frequency.
A non-repeating signal doesn't pick harmonics. It needs all the frequencies there are.
The trick,
now write down what the animation showed.
The envelope is the period times the coefficients, held in the limit, call it x of omega.
Substitute the analysis equation from last episode, and the 1 over t cancels. X of omega is the integral of the signal against e to the minus j omega t. The same tuned detector as before, but the dial now turns continuously. This is the Fourier transform. And the synthesis sum?
The harmonics are spaced omega naught apart, so each term carries a factor omega naught, which is 2 pi over t. As t grows, the sum of skinny slices becomes, by definition, an integral. The inverse transform, the signal rebuilt from a continuum of spinning arrows, each weighted by x series and transform are one machine. We just released the dial. Read that again, because most courses hand these two equations down like commandments.
Nothing new was invented here.
We took the Fourier series, and we took a limit.
That's the entire origin story. Run the new machine on the pulse that started the episode. The transform of a rectangle is the function engineers meet everywhere for the rest of their lives, the sinc. A central hump, then ripples decaying on both sides forever. The nulls carry the geometry, 0 crossings at every multiple of 2 pi over tau. At those frequencies the spinner completes whole laps inside the pulse and averages itself to 0. Every null is episode 2's orthogonality, resurfacing. Now watch the trade.
Make the pulse wider and the sinc gets narrower. All the energy squeezes toward low frequency. Make the pulse narrower, a snappier, quicker event, and the spectrum spreads wide. Short in time means broad in frequency. Always. This seesaw has a famous name waiting in the next episode, the uncertainty principle. Before using the transform, be precise about what it is, because this is where intuitions quietly go wrong. X of omega is not the amount of frequency omega. It is a density, amplitude per unit of frequency, the way a rod has mass per meter at a point but no mass at a point. Its magnitude says how strongly each band contributes. Its angle says how the spinners are aligned when they start. And one transforms so short it fits in a breath, yet says the most. The impulse episode 2's atom transforms to the constant 1. A perfectly sharp instant contains every frequency, equally, all aligned at time 0. That is why striking a system with an impulse, like we did in episode 3, tests it at all frequencies at once. The whole series just clicked together.
Gates' favorite transform, done clean. A rectangular pulse, height a, width tau, centered at 0. Find the transform, sketch the magnitude, and locate the first null. The integral only lies where the pulse does. Integrate the exponential directly, no tables needed. Combine the limits, and episode 1's identity turns the two exponentials into a sine. Factor it as a tau times the sinc shape. Note it is purely real, the pulse is even, so every spinner pairs with its mirror and the phases cancel. Symmetry did that, not luck. Read the answer like an engineer. At omega 0 the value is a tau, always the pulse's area, the DC term sees only area. And the first null falls where the sine's argument reaches pi, omega equals 2 pi over tau. There is the seesaw as a formula, tau downstairs, so a longer pulse pulls the null inward, a shorter one pushes it out. Sketch, state the null, cite the area rule, that's full marks in 90 seconds. The number to remember, 2 pi over tau. The first null of the rectangular pulse, and the cleanest statement of the duration bandwidth trade that rules all of signal design. Next episode, the transform's properties, duality, scaling, modulation, where that seesaw becomes a principle with a famous name.